How can you get ready for an awesome growing season even though it's the middle of winter? Heyo friends, homeowners, and landscapers. My name is Hudson here at HeyoCreative.com, and it's my goal to bring you tips, tricks, and resources that I use as a professional landscaper in my daily life so that you can save yourself time and money that you could be spending with your loved ones and with your friends. Today we're going to be talking about how you can use the downtime of winter to accelerate your plans and your projects this coming year. There are 3 simple ways that you can do this, but before we get started, I wanted to give you a gift as a way of saying thanks for joining me today. In the link below this video, or in the QR code over here that you can scan with your phone, you'll get access to my step-by-step plan that I use as a professional landscaper to plan out, to install, to maintain, and finally to get inspired about my outdoor landscape and living space. So I want you to have that, download it, and print it off so that the next time you have an outdoor project, you can just go to that resource and use it to save yourself time and money. All right, let's talk about it. How can you use the downtime of winter to get a better result on your landscape this year? It's too cold to grow plants right now, but it is not too cold to sit inside on your couch, somewhere cozy, and do these 3 steps. They are, number 1, planning, number 2, design, and number 3, preparation. So let's get into it. Planning has 3 subcategories. 1 is inspiration, number 2 is getting a target goal or a written goal, and number 3 is setting yourself a budget. So for inspiration, I like to use Pinterest or anywhere that you can save photos and create a board and just go crazy. Pin anything that you think you would like to include into your landscape this year. And number 2, take those pins that you made, take those inspiration or magazine clippings, and target down and write out what is a reasonable project that I could do with my yard space and with the resources that I have. And then number 3, and this is one that a lot of people, even that are hiring professionals, don't really know that well, so I don't expect you to get this right off the bat. If you do, give yourself a pat on the back because this is really hard to do, but set yourself a budget and just say, this is what I'm willing to spend. It's okay if later on you realize that what you had projected was not the same as what it's actually gonna cost to do your project. We'll talk about that later. So number 2 is design, and design has 2 steps. Number 2, design, 2 steps. The first one is taking a map of your yard and making a map of your house and your outdoor space. This is what we in the professional world call a site plan, and it's what we use for our bids, our designs, and when we're on site to make sure that we put plants in the right area. And the second part is designing. So think of it as the first one is making a map of what already exists. The second one is putting in the stuff that you wish existed. And if you have questions about this, I go over it extensively in the guide form that you can pick up down below or over here by scanning the QR code with your phone. So if you have any questions about the design phase, go ahead and do that so that you can save yourself time. And then number 3 is preparation. Now preparation has, again, 3 steps. Number 1 is contacting vendors. Now what you'll want to do is you'll want to go back to the design phase and you'll look at all the things that you added to your site plan. And you count those up, you say, okay, plants are over here, materials like dirt or mulch are over here, and then stone or rock or tiling, that's over here. And then you call vendors and see what materials they've got, and you ask them what their prices are. You get pretty much a download. You could also sleuth this out online, do your due diligence there, but what you're doing here is you're figuring out what materials you'll need and what amount of materials you'll need, and you're finding out which vendors carry those if they deliver. Now for this last one, it's nice to know step 2 in the process, which is set yourself a deadline. Have a goal for when you want to do this project or when you want it completed by. 3 really common ones are Labor Day, 4th of July, and Memorial Day because it's kind of beginning of summer, middle of summer, and end of summer. So if you're looking forward to that righteous barbecue party in your space, then I would recommend having a deadline so that you can contact those vendors and say, hey, do you deliver? And they might say, yeah, we do. And you can just have them move your materials. This works really great, especially if you don't have a vehicle. In case there was any confusion, the first step is contacting vendors, seeing what they've got. And then the second one is to set yourself a deadline or a schedule. And then the third step is that you can count the cost. So I believe in Jesus, and Jesus tells this parable about a guy who builds a tower without counting the cost. And the danger of this is that he didn't finish it. And so I want to keep you from being like that guy. So make sure that you double check what the vendors told you your project is actually going to cost with the budget that you set at the beginning of this process, because that's going to be very important. And you know what? It's okay to go in stages. If you only have enough to put in plants one year, and then maybe later on in the year you have time to put in mulch, that's all right. Make sure that if you're going to start this project that you've got planned and that you've got designed and that you've called contractors about, that you're going to be able to finish it. So that's it for 3 ways that you can use your downtime in the winter to get ready for the next season. Number 1, planning. Number 2, design. And number 3, preparation. I would encourage you to use those so that you save yourself time, money, and stress in the upcoming year, and also so that you have a plan coming into the next year and your projects can actually get throughput. And as a way of saying thank you for joining me, don't forget to get your free gift either down below in the link or by scanning the QR code over in the corner with your phone, so that you can get my step-by-step guide that I use as a professional to do everything in the landscape process. I want you to have that, and I want you to use it. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you in the next video.